Alright, great. Loaded the map properly, no issues with that. Anyway, welcome everyone to Nixotica's Endurance Race, the test edition. So the format is going to be about 45 minutes over a multi-lap track, between 2 to 3 minutes long, and the first place finisher should take about 45 minutes is the plan. So there's going to be 21 laps. So let's spectate then. Who can I spectate? Let's look at SRK. So this map was made by me, the very first one. It's got a mix of everything. That's the whole goal, is just to put a mix of driving styles in this competition. And yeah, hopefully people are well versed enough to make it through everything. Server is actually handling this number of players just fine. We don't have too many, so that's good. But this is a decent stress test. We haven't hit the, you know, scary number of 30 people or more, but this is a perfectly fine amount for the server, I think. Let's take a look at Marius. So this map has pretty much, it's a little bit difficult, but I tried to control myself. Spectate Dog. Dog is a good player, so I will, if I can even find him. He's jumping around the positions right now, but yeah, players have 15 minutes of warm-up, and then we will go into the race where you don't want to respawn because you just get one chance to go through and get the best position you possibly can. Now, the live ranking, that doesn't seem to be working just yet. I don't really want to mess with anything because I know the server is a little, it's not like unstable, but the server controller is still in the works. But yeah, in future editions, hopefully we will get this a little bit more sorted out. Let's check out Javzo. He's a little bit farther. He's in like the, I guess, RPG LOL map section. Just a couple of turns you can do there. You can either do a Neo Drift or just drive through it normally. Well, that's just the game of so the netcode for this game isn't the greatest. The fact that we're able to spectate someone right now is really just the thing that's important. So it looks like Javzo is going to be the first one to finish a lap here with a 2:29.71 with no flying lap, followed by Mime. So let's get an overview of the map here. So really tried to keep decoration light so that people would hopefully not lag that much. I guess you could say it's for the boys. You know, let's move the chat box a little bit, because we don't really want to be getting it in the way. There we go. Hopefully my game doesn't crash, because lately I've been having a bit of issues with that, where the game just likes to crash a lot. So yeah, we have plenty of people online. We will be adding a password in about 5 minutes. And yeah, let's see, we got about 25 people driving, not too bad for the first just test edition, so I really appreciate everyone who came and decided to play today. Let's watch Javzo again. And yeah, so we really just have a lot of variety here. And if you want to submit maps, once again, I'll say you can go to my Discord and look at the Google form, and there's a whole outline of things, the general rules, but it's pretty open as to what you can do. So yeah, the whole goal now is just get some maps, iron out some stuff with the server, and yeah, hopefully make this competition nice for everyone. Alright, so let's see in the local records who's doing the best right now. We have Javso with a 224, not too bad. I think flying lap PB I had was a 211, so I think we should expect to see some 210s, 209s maybe, if people really push. But we'll see. So who are some big names in here? We got SRK, AQLX, Rozzy, Mime, Mania Ben, Snowman, Dog, Nako, Bilingo, Kive, Quasar, Pack Jr. Interesting name. I don't think that's actually Pack Jr. Marius89, Pod, Dizrod, Tigerbot, Stargamer, Tom, K, or is that Insanity? That could be Insanity, like the dirt driver would be my guess. We have Nats, Pinda, Fegli, CD, Sven, Taurus, Javso, and these people have left the server, so I'm gonna guess that they're not playing. But yeah, we'll see how many finishers we have at the end of this. So let's check. Nobody's having any issues. No one's messaging anything. Okay, all good. And hopefully we'll see some pretty close races, despite the length and the amount of players online currently. But once again, it's just a test edition. There's no prize money for this one. There's no greater season that it's a part of. This is just, you know, getting things ready and making sure that everything's working and seeing what we can do better for next version. Oh, we see Rozzy making some mistakes. Kind of a difficult RPG section if you want to go quick through here. We see people going for an inside line. Now it's definitely a little bit faster, but it's going to be more risky, so we'll see if people pull that off in the actual race. Let's look at Snowman here. I know he only prefers dirt usually, but good friend of mine, so probably checking out the race just as a something to do. Oh no. Okay, that was just a join lag. This game really tests your trust issues. Got some more people joining the server here, it looks like. Got Zesty Thokert and Labobus. I know. Terrifying. When you see your game just stop running for a second, especially in Trackmania, that could really mean anything. The game could be breaking, or it could just be a join lag. Man, I don't understand how anyone plays at this plays with motion blur on. It looks a little better, but it is like I would not be able to play with it on. In fact, do you guys, I mean, honestly, do we prefer motion blur or not? What are you guys thinking? Motion blur or no? Because that's kind of a debated issue as to whether it makes you feel motion sickness or not. Let's look at Fegli here. You hate motion blur? Yeah. I mean, as a player, motion blur is terrible, but I'd have to agree with you. Taurus putting in a 214.99, not bad. Snowman surprisingly getting the third local. Looking pretty good for Snowman. I think he can make something happen here. Let's watch Taurus, see if he's got the lines down. Anyway, we're coming up. I'm going to set password to, if anyone wants to join, well, you can't really, I mean, like, if you get kicked, like, right as it's starting, I guess you can join back and play, so might as well make it public. NER test. FOONW and S. Password is added. Password. BW. I'm liking the way that this looks. This is pretty good. The fact that you can easily see like profile, look at all this stuff. This is a pretty good controller. Even if it's a bit bare bones right now, it's better than the other controllers out there right now, in my opinion at least. All right, let's take a look at SRK. SRK is a pretty big Baltic player. You may recognize him from the Baltic Trackmania League. He's doing pretty well in that. And I think he's also an event organizer for quite a few things. So, pretty good guy for the community. Razi, I always mix up Razi and Razor, right? But I want to say that he came top in very high up in the OGL. Maybe even gotten some prize money if I'm not mistaken. Oh, look at that. Nako pulls up with a 2:13.87. Not a bad time at all. So it looks like he is understanding the map the quickest out of anyone here. Oh my gosh. Oh, the lag. Oh man. All right. Seems like some players have lag and others don't. So we'll try to, you know, or it's just everyone when the server is. I don't know if I can blame the server or if I can blame the game. It's hard to judge. Are these emojis on his car? Are we talking about Nako? Oh, I can't even tell. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, it looks kind of psychedelic. I definitely see some faces in it. They look yellow, but not sure. Also, mine with a 2:11.11. That is better than my flying lap PB. So not bad from mine. He's looking pretty strong on this map. No surprise there. He is a fast player. He's been in the game for a while. Historically, I want to say he's been kind of a lol map player and maybe RPG and just generally kind of well versed at mixed maps just because he has such a vast background. Dort. Snowman talking about a Dort. Am I missing something here? But I guess I can say something about Snowman. Probably the person I know the best out of the people who are on this server today. Like I said, he's a pretty much only exclusively dirt player, but it's nice seeing him trying something that has a mix of styles. You know, we got a little bit of dirt here. That's really the only dirt section, actually. I tried to avoid putting too much dirt because I know I have a bias toward it. But yeah, so we got 1 minute left in the warm-up, so hopefully we'll see players feeling comfortable with the map after 15 minutes here. Because I think 15 minutes over a 2 to 3 minute map gives you about 4 to 5 laps, depending on how quick you are at learning it, and whether you're going through and, you know, really trying to iron out specific sections, or if you're trying to just go around and play laps regardless of whether you hit walls or not. So we'll see what players' techniques are for quick learning and if they pay off or not. Alright, so 10 seconds left and we will be beginning shortly. So hopefully the server's going to be fine. I think the match is all set up. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see the amount of laps because, like I said, For some reason that wasn't working. Oh, I linked it for some reason. If you click that, that's gonna go nowhere. Anyway, we're off. So Snowman already a little bit behind, but not too bad. Let's take a look at the front here. Mime leading the pack by 0.08 seconds, followed by Dog, Nats, and Pinda. Pinda doing surprisingly well. I know he is a very, very good dirt player from TM2. And it'll be interesting to see if he's able to keep up with everyone else through all these tech sections. Let's go behind a little bit. We got Dizrod closely following, but not really. Mime just pulling away. He learned this map quickly. We got Marius already. I didn't even notice with a 209.16 flying lap. A really good time, actually, just to be learning in the first 15 minutes. But yeah, these players are showing that they mean business, and they're going to learn it as quick as they possibly can. We see some players falling down already. Let's take a look, go back a little bit. But everyone's really staying close in this first lap. I mean, Dog going for a bit more of an inside line. Doesn't really pay off for him, but also doesn't lose him anything. Let's see, Fegley, will he be able to catch up some time on this ice slide? Not really. He's a good ice player, but doesn't seem to have figured that line out yet. And we got nobody really sliding out, so it looks like this ice section is easy enough for the average person to do. Let's take a look at Marius 89. Now, what happened to Mime? Mime has fallen down a little bit. Mime is going for, well, he takes that one inside, but he took mostly outside or inner pole lines there. But we got Rozzy in the lead, Dog in second, Mime in third, and Marius in fourth. Let's check the back a little bit, see what's going on with players like CD. CD is 1 minute behind, maybe a little bit of an issue. Apparently, Quasar did not see the message saying that it was live, unfortunately. Got Mania Ben, currently 21 seconds behind, not terrible. Maybe some mistakes early on, but it's bound to happen, and really 20 seconds isn't too much over a 45-minute map. So players definitely will be having time to make up those differences. Let's check our top 10 here, see if they're still close. We definitely have a fight for top 7 here, with Pac Jr., Dizrod, and Nats all leading right next to each other. Then jumping up near the front, we have Marius, who's trailing behind Mime and Rozzy, who are actually in a really good fight right now. Rounding these corners quite well. Mime going for a little bit of a jump there. I don't know if it was intentional or not. Mime taking a little bit more of an inside line. He's going to catch up a bit, but we'll see how that plays out later. We've got Torres down just a little bit. Any of these players really have the opportunity. Anyone here in this top 10, maybe even top 11 or 12, has a good shot at becoming even in first place, just if they drive this consistently and try to keep their pace up. But right now, Marius is looking to be in the best spot, given his local record is 1.3 seconds ahead of the second local record, so really good for Marius here. Going down a little bit again, we can check and look at some other players who we'll see. Mania Ben right here. Going through, taking an inside line, hitting the pole, not exactly what you want to do, but this section is kind of difficult. I was debating about removing these poles or not, but I figured, hey, you know, it's a test edition. We gotta spice things up, maybe throw something in there that some people will risk and fail, and some people will safe and, you know, make up a little bit of time, hoping other people are failing. But okay, let's go up to Nako, who originally had the local record after the first or second lap, so it seemed like he was learning the map quickly. Getting a bit of lag here. Might not spectate him for too long. Let's take a look at Mime. Mime, Rozzy going down must have touched something. Marius leading, but only by a second. All these players are just within 1 second of each other. Really looking good and even for everyone. Let's take a look at Dizrod. Dizrod only 7 seconds down. Our top 12 is, you know, top 10 is all within 10 seconds of each other, so not terrible. The race is looking still pretty good for a lot of these players. No server issues yet from what I can tell, so that's good. But of course, servers should be able to handle this number of players, so hopefully if it scales with size later on, it will be able to handle that. Ooh, AQLX making a little touch there. Going in. We got some custom blocks here that I personally made for this dirt section right here, kind of to emulate the feeling of TM2 dirt, where you would be driving on dirt hills and have you know, the roads embedded into the surface itself. Going into this ice slide. Goes a little bit inside, lifts his wheels, but ultimately saving it nicely. Going into this second drift. Snowman exiting it a little bit poorly. I think he's going to get passed by Aculix here. And we are only 15 seconds down in 11th spot, so this is not looking too terrible. Let's take a look at Mime again. So the fight for first is about 1, maybe 2 seconds, you could say, down. But Marius really has a good pace here. A 2:08.14. Really fast stuff by these players. They're definitely knowing these maps well. Got some people leaving, could be just leaving out of frustration, or hopefully it's not the server. Hopefully they're just deciding to leave themselves. Let's take a look at the back. Let's take a look at someone we haven't looked at, Belingo. Belingo making a slight mistake in a close race here with Mania Ben. Though they're 30 seconds down, I mean, they have a pretty close race going on right here. How many rounds? It's going to be 1 round with 21 laps, and I believe we are on maybe the 4th or 5th lap by now. The lap counter isn't working on this server, and we weren't able to fix it before the test race today, unfortunately, but it will be fixed for the next edition. And yeah, hopefully that'll be all set up and we'll be ready for it to work next time. We'll make sure before the next edition that things are running a bit more smoothly. And yeah, but let's get back into it. Let's look at Pac Jr., who is lagging out maybe. Tigerbot is possibly in the last place here if AQLX had, oh, he got a disconnect. That's unfortunate. CD maybe, oh man, he's lagging a little bit too. No, he's fine. Well, CD right now is in the back of the pack, it looks like. Rozzy may have gotten a disconnect. Man, servers are just something else in this game. Yo, what's up, Elf? Let's take a look at the front here again, or more toward where the battle is. We got Nats, who is currently 3 seconds behind Belingo. Oh, gets a touch there. That's not going to be good for him, but he recovers pretty well. He's got Pod. Let's take a look at Pod, who's going to be coming up right behind him here, probably. Yep, he is closing in, so this is a fight to look at, is between 12th and 13th. Got Mania Ben and Belingo still. And let's go up a little bit. Let's take a look at our beginning spots here. Mime, 2.5 seconds down. Marius is really taking a good lead here. Marius is another streamer, probably streaming right now, I would expect. Doing well, it looks like. It looks like he understands this map and really knows what's going on, so good for Marius. Hopefully he can keep this pace up. He's definitely the favorite right now due to his local record, but Taurus as well has a better, well, let's look at these locals if we can. We have Mime with a 209.27 and Taurus with a 208.26. That's a second difference. So Taurus only being 1 second behind Mime really shows that he is going to have a good time. And oh, Mime making a terrible mistake. Doesn't go for that double respawn. He tries to go for the active respawn and he's going to lose 8 seconds. So he is down into 5th with a fight with Jabzo now. let's go look at Dog, because now he's going to be chasing Taurus, and this doesn't look good for Mime. Okay, going into this ice slide. I know Dog is very, very good at ice. And very nice exit speed. He's going to catch up to Taurus just a little bit. Let's see how he does this second one. Okay, he corners it well. Gets a good drift cancel there. And going into this little RPG lull section, they both go for the inside line. Dog clipping on the inside. Taurus is going through. CD is having some connection issues. Dog going for through the triangle line. Not sure if that's going to be faster, because you're going to be clipping over the corner there and getting an acceleration penalty in this game. But nonetheless, he is surviving. Only 6 seconds down from Marius, so this is looking fine for these guys up front. They're all doing well. Let's take a look at Javzo again. So Javzo in 5th place, 10 seconds down. He is, I don't think he's in a fight with CD. CD must be a full lap behind right now currently. So might be some confusion, might be some connection issues with, confusion with if it had started or not. Next time I'll have to be more clear, more direct in stating when it's going live. Anyway, let's go look at Nats. Is this battle still going on with Nats, Mania, Ben, and Belingo? It is not exactly. Let's take a look at Belingo. Well, Belingo is only 2 seconds down from Nats, so this fight for 11th really isn't decided yet. Fair enough, Elf. I mean, it's, I guess someone has to win, right? Unless nobody plays. Someone we haven't looked at for a while, I wonder if he is still on the server, is Pinda. Pinda is having some issues, and, well, he was looking pretty good early on, but I don't know if he's learning this map all that great. Having some issues with this section. Maybe just not focused, because he is a very good player. But this is a test race after all, so if you just want to join and relax and, yeah, just have fun, that is completely up to you. Let's take a look at Tigerbot again. Tigerbot really on his own, in the back here, making some mistakes, but he still has a chance, for sure. We're only 12 minutes into the race. Still a good 30 minutes left at least for Tigerbot here to drive, and that means that there's a lot of people who are going to be, you know, making mistakes ahead of him potentially, and if he drives at a decent pace, he could catch up to these positions. In fact, he could catch up to this little fight we see right here with Pod and Nako. Got Pod. Oh, he made a mistake actually. I was looking, they were only about a 1 second apart, but Pod must have made a mistake and had to respawn. But then if we go up and look at Nako and Belingo, well, Nako has made a mistake again. What is going on? These players are just distancing themselves out by making mistakes, and I guess that's what to be expected by an endurance race, but who knows? I mean, you know that they are probably looking ahead and looking behind and really want to catch up, but you know, sometimes in an endurance format like this, you just have to relax and shake it off, because if you make a mistake, you're still driving the same round no matter what, so you have to be able to recover and say, look, I'm gonna do better on the next lap. But Taurus here, really close to Marius. Taurus, I've played on a team with him before, and I'm actually on his team now again, so I know he's a good player, and he definitely has the pace to at least match Marius, if not beat him. So really, this is going to be a close battle as long as neither of them get any connection issues, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. But let's drop back a little bit, look at Mime. Mime, definitely, he's picking up the pace. We have 2:07.64 by Javzo and 2:07.88 by Mime. And let's see, Marius didn't improve his time at all, so they are going to have a slightly faster pace than Marius potentially. Same with Taurus with a 2:08.02. So Marius, though he's leading the race, he's got to be worried a little bit, because he knows if he's looking at the locals that his name is not up there in the top 3. So he definitely has to realize that there are people who are chasing him, but he is called the safe Meister for a reason. So he might just be playing his safe lines right now, and it is definitely paying off, because he is though the gap is closing between him and Torres, he's still doing well, and he may have not made any mistakes this entire race, for as far as we know. I haven't seen him make any mistakes. But of course, I don't want to give him the caster's curse after saying that. But he looks pretty strong here. Lifting his wheels off there slightly, but, you know, he's just driving his line and enjoying the race, so can't fault him at 208.64. That's not bad. Hit a small one on the third lap. Okay. Well, I mean, after 15 minutes of driving and one mistake, that is still very impressive. Let's look at Dizrod and Snowman, the two dirt drivers. Snowman, a full 15 seconds behind Dizrod, so no real fight going on here, but Dizrod versus SRK is something to look at. Dizrod, the, I guess you could say the official dirt master of this game, given that he has won the No Slip Cup, which was the first and only dirt-only cup of TM 2020 so far. So, dirt master here, but we also have Snowman, who is known for being the dirt player in the United States. So, we have definitely something to look out for here. Might want to look at him while he's driving through one of the dirt sections and see how he does it, if he's found some lines that some of the top players haven't. Let's fall back again and look at Mania Ben. See, he is very close to Nats right now. He's not going over that grass. Maybe he thinks it's a penalty grass, or maybe he just doesn't want to lose control and slide out. Oh, he gets a little bit of an Excel penalty there on the full speed transition loop there. Going to be losing even more speed going down the Excel, or the penalty grass there. Gets a nice turn. Gets no airtime. Perfectly executed grass section there. But Nats is 3 seconds ahead now, so he definitely has some more work to go for. Let's take a look at Nako. Nako 24 seconds down. Belingo, though, we saw that this gap was a bit bigger before, but it's only 5 seconds now, so Belingo really has a real chance of catching up to Nako now. Dropping back a bit. Who is still in it? We have 16 players. It's kind of like a TMGL match now at this point, after all the disconnects. We got CD, who is actually in a close battle with Pinda. You wouldn't really expect to see it this far back, but I mean, hey, it's happening nonetheless, so that fight for 15th is still up for grabs. And I know for a fact, these are both really good players, so, you know, maybe as they learn the map more, they'll be well-suited and ready to go. But it's possible also that CD with some connection issues could be struggling to play a little bit right now. I know that the game will punish you if you have connection issues by lagging you around. Hopefully that isn't happening, and hopefully that can be better next time. But Pinda driving, oh, makes a little mistake here before the full speed section. You don't really want that, because there is no there's no speed boost until this point, so that really is punishing. So through the entire full speed section, you don't want to be making any mistakes, because it can cost you up to 5 to 10 seconds potentially, even if you don't have to do a respawn. And he actually goes and falls into the bottom there, making the transition too low, very low in fact. What's up, Derek? Sorry that you missed it. We will be planning on doing this weekly. Not sure if I'll do it next week though. It just depends on the rate at which all the bugs are fixed. But a lot of the Evo people are being very kind and helping me work on this, so hopefully things will be all set for next week. Anyway, Pinda doing a nose slide right into the poles there, and I think he got passed by Snowman, so Snowman now going into a top 8 position. He is not going to be getting any point loss if this were a TMGL match, so looking good for Snowman. Exactly. No, you would destroy the competition, I'm sure, Derek. You would probably be having a 206 on that local records. It's just better to keep it fun and interesting for these top players that we don't have someone so dominant in the field. But Purge Taurus is only 0.6 seconds behind, 0.5 in fact, and I think we're starting to see the fact that Marius is a safer, and Taurus, being a very consistent driver, very good competitive player, is really starting to like show here. He has the fastest, or one of the fastest times, a 2:07.87, which is only 0.3, slightly less than 0.3 faster than Marius. But Marius, we saw driving some safe rounds. Oh, Marius made a mistake. Okay, I see. Now, how are you able to see that? Maybe if he's streaming and you check his stream, you're able to see that. But yeah, right now, as you can see, the live ranking isn't working, unfortunately. That's another thing that's going to need to be working, as well as hopefully some plugin to see splits before and behind, because in the old endurance race hosted by Spam, and at least I know for Frostfuel, it would show the amount of time from the person in front of you, the amount of time for the person behind you, and also whether you're getting closer to the person in front of you and whether the person behind you is getting closer to you. So that was really helpful information that hopefully we'll be able to add through some sort of plugin. But there's still plenty of work to do on this cup. But luckily this test is going pretty well. We got players lined up. Mime, right as we spectate him, making a mistake. Javso, not quite in range. He's 12 seconds down. I mean, if he really pushes it and Mime makes more mistakes, he will potentially regain this position. But until then, we don't see that really happening. Dizrod is only 5 seconds behind SRK. SRK 7 behind Javso. So besides this top two, we're really seeing some people spreading out, and I don't think it's not really a matter of difference in skill, really. It's more like people are showing their ability to quickly learn, and maybe their focus, as well as just how often they make mistakes, because this is an endurance race. Oh, Dizrod getting his back wheel stuck on the side, and the problem with this game versus TM2 is the wheel. If you get it stuck on something, there's almost no way you're going to get it back up, because the drive of this car is so much weaker than in TM2 and TMNF. So he loses some time, goes and drops down quite a bit. A lot more time lost by him. Let's look at Fegley. So Fegley and Snowman, two of the, I think I want to say CD is the only other American player here. And Fegley doing pretty well. 57 seconds down, completely fine though. And he is going to have possibly an opportunity. He's 14 seconds down and we're about halfway through the race, so who knows if he's going to be able to catch up to Dizrod or any of these other players. But how many rounds left? Well, let's take a look at the front. So Taurus is 23 minutes in, 23 divided by, let's say, a 2 minutes per. We're probably on the 12th lap, the 11th or 12th. So we got about 10 or 9 laps left. And that will be plenty of time for some of these players to catch up, and plenty of time for the players in front of them to make mistakes. So this isn't decided yet. We are seeing the general order of things be played out, but there are definitely places where people will be able to catch up. Pod dropping down quite a bit far behind Nako here. About a 30-second or more deficit, if I'm calculating that correctly. Belingo possibly made a disconnect. That is really unfortunate for him. Pinda made a huge mistake apparently somewhere, and that's not looking good for him. You don't like the map? Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, fortunately, this is possibly the only map that I'm going to be making myself, and then after that we should be having a bunch of different people making their own maps and then submitting them. So every week is going to be something new, a new mapping style over a bunch of different environments. Pinda here going for just a bunch of drifts for whatever reason, maybe just enjoying himself at this point, just showing off for the stream maybe. Tigerbot is also a United States player who I didn't notice. Let's take a look at his profile. He's a Silver 2 from Tennessee. Maybe someone to look out for in the United States if he's into competitively playing Trackmania. Let's go back to the front of the field, check on the Taurus versus Marius, and oh my God, they're inside of each other at this point. So this is the real battle to be looking at. I mean, you know, all the other players, their positions are kind of decided, but this is, after 24 minutes of driving, it's crazy to see, you know, only a 0.07 difference in first and second place. And, you know, two players who are at quite a similar skill level. So this is really, oh, Pinda taking a rest stop there, relaxing for a little bit possibly. But we got Marius and Taurus here. We won't watch, and we'll see how that develops later. Let's take a look at Mime. Mime maybe catching up a little bit, actually. It's possible that Taurus and Marius are just making some mistakes and, you know, rubber banding each other a little bit, and Mime is just slowly but surely learning the map and has plenty of time to actually make this 5-second deficit. He could make up this 5-second deficit. And yeah, Zoma, I mean, Trackmania can be a little bit interesting sometimes with the terminology we use. Anyway, Jabzo, 28 seconds down. Crazy to see 28-second deficit between third and between first and fourth, but with the top three still in a relatively close battle. It's kind of reminiscent of the old Spams Weekly, where you would have players like Javifly or Bran or Riolu come in and just be absolutely dominant, showing up at the top. But fortunately, we don't have a single person who's doing that, but in fact 2 people, and possibly 3, being Marius, Taurus, and Mime, all fighting and contending for that top spot. Meanwhile, Pinda at the same time here, driving with Jabzo, maybe about a 1 lap difference, but that's just how it goes, I guess. Snowman possibly got a disconnect or just quit. It is a long race after all. I mean, people will get tired and just quit at some point, but I would say the test has certainly done its purpose at this point, where we now know what to look for next edition, and the fact that we were actually able to host one test edition is reason enough to do another. So look at your rank. I don't know if I can do that while you're offline. Let me check. Oh, I can. Gold 1, 35th in North America. Got some trophies here. Top 605 in the world, not bad. That is pretty good. You don't have any of the golden trophies yet, but 6 trophy 6s is definitely close. 4 more of those and you got the equivalent of a trophy 7, so very nice. Got Javzo here going through the ice section, and SRK, I didn't even realize, is right on his tail. Let's take a look at this here. SRK staying pretty close to Javzo, a very close fight that didn't really expect to see here. I hadn't noticed it for the longest time, but I guess we have a good fight here between these two, and SRK going right into the pole. Let's take a look right behind him. Where's Dizrod? Dizrod 24 seconds behind. Really, at this point, possibly no chance to catch up, but he can secure himself this 6th spot if he continues driving this pace. We got Fegley coming behind him. Bit of a slow exit from that ice. Fegley being very good at ice in my memory, at least, making some mistakes there. Not what you'd expect, but that's what the endurance can maybe take a toll on your ability to drive. I mean, we're 29 minutes in here, so these players have to be getting a bit tired. Taking a look at the front again, Taurus 1.7 seconds down from Marius. Mime, who we saw before was about 6 to 7 seconds down, is actually only 5 seconds and closing in rapidly. Well, not rapidly, but, you know, over the amount of time that's left, he could really make something happen here. A good chance for Mime to really maybe prove himself with his pace. After all, I mean, look at this time. I didn't even notice his local record has gone down to a 207.1. Maybe we'll see a 206 here eventually from Mime as he's, you know, kicking into 6th gear. Marius with a 207.6, so showing that even though he is a safe player, he can risk, and maybe his safe pace is just that fast now. Mime making a slight touch here, though. That's going to drop him down a little bit over a second. That's not good for him. Let's go up and look again at some of these other fights. We had SRK versus Javzo, which is spreading out a little bit more here. This ice section definitely taking a little bit of players' pace away. We see that usually players are doing completely fine until this ice section, and then this section right here, and actually he catches up to Javzo quite a bit, so Javzo made a mistake. And the difference here is just a little bit less than a second, maybe a little more than a second, around a second here. SRK going for some really safe outside lines here, and he's doing perfectly fine in keeping this battle up with Javzo, so we'll see how that unfolds. Mime going back to the 5.6 second deficit, 5.5, so his pace is definitely faster. He just needs to stop making mistakes, and he could be doing a fast enough time, a fast enough pace for the first place. And you got a game crash, Snowman? I mean, yeah, I figured that was probably the reason, and I mean, that's just kind of how this game goes, isn't it? It's very unfortunate. That's why during the season, I'm going to be taking the best 5 placements out of 8 races, because ideally someone will be able to show up and finish 5 out of 8 times. So that's going to be one way, and once this becomes fully competitive, we will have kind of a way to balance out the instability of this game, hopefully. But also we'll have to check and see, you know, if the player size goes up, will that be able to scale with the server? Will it be able to handle that many players? Hopefully it will, but that is for time to tell. Anyway, Javzo versus SRK for that 4th place position. Very close battle here. Going down, let's look at some of our last players. We got Pinda, who is 6 minutes behind. Probably just taking it easy at this point. I know we saw him just relaxing for a little bit before, so maybe he is going for that most persistent player award today. Getting some interesting lines here. I think he's definitely just taking it easy now. Going up, let's look at CD in 13th, who has apparently gotten lapped for what I'm going to guess is the 2nd time by Mime, so Mime really showing the pace here. CD with some internet issues once again. Let's go to Tigerbot. So Tigerbot and Mania Ben. Mania Ben is what looks to be, I was going to say it was a close battle, but he seems to be a full lap ahead, so good for Mania Ben in the 9th position. And well, we got about 2 minutes difference between Pinda and Tigerbot, 1 minute between Pod and Tiger. Nako and Pod, another minute, and Nako and Nats looks like it could be a battle to look at. Nats here in the 10th position. We got Nako a little bit ahead. Nats going for the inside line, because in this turn you have to really, if you want to do it well, cut inside at the end of that uphill and be ready. Tigerbot going for an interesting approach, just flying off the side there, but he recovers nicely, comes back, respawns, doesn't give up. That's what you like to see. And we got Taurus here. Taurus actually is in the lead. I didn't even notice. Taurus, how much of a lead does he have? Marius making a 15-second mistake. Wow. You hate to see it. That was the one battle that we were really looking at. So now it looks like Mime is the only one who can stop Taurus from taking this lead. And oh no. Oh please. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. All right, we'll get off him for a second. Hopefully it's not. I can uncurse him by not spectating him, but if he ends up disconnecting, that's going to be real unfortunate, because he was putting up a great fight. Oh, Marius left the game. Looks like he got a disconnect. Once again, these servers, I mean, that's Trackmania for you, I guess. So hopefully Mime and Taurus will not have connection issues. I mean, the connection issues today have really just leveled the field heavily. You got about, I want to say 12 people still driving. Hopefully by the end of it, not everyone will be kicked out by the server. Let's take a look at Mania Ben. Mania Ben coming into that battle with Nats and Nako. So maybe he has the pace here to go up into that top 8 position. He's only 9 seconds behind. We got about maybe 10 minutes left, and that should be good for these players who are probably feeling very tired at this point. I know I'm getting pretty tired just from talking about it, so playing it must be pretty intense as well. But we got definitely some good races going on. Some very close stuff. Dizrod, let's take a look. Dizrod versus what seems to be nobody really close to him. Maybe Fegley? Not really. I mean, he could make something happen, but only if Dizrod makes a mistake here, because pace alone is not going to be enough for any deficit of more than, I'd say, 5 seconds to catch up. So, looking at Javzo and SRK again. I mean, this battle's been going on for seemingly the entire race. These two players who are just going back and forth at it, and both with decent lines and some mistakes sprinkled in between. So that'll do it. That'll be that'll cause, you know, to level the playing field a little bit and make these players, when one gets a little too fast, the other makes a mistake. And oh, talking about mistakes, that's going to be a costly one, actually. Caster's Curse again. Right when I'm talking about a good battle, it just completely falls apart. So now Javzo is 9 seconds behind, and that's going to be very, very hard to make up in these last moments of the race. So let's see if that can be done. Dizrod not coming any closer to Javzo. Still about a 15 to 16 second deficit. So once again, that battle's looking like it's finished. Fegley, 15 seconds. Nako and Nats still going at it. Mime, 7.3 seconds. That's worse than the 5 seconds that we saw before. So maybe he's losing some of his pace now, realizing that it's getting close to the end. And unfortunately, because we don't have the number of laps displayed, these players are kind of just aimlessly going until they finish. But you know, if some of them do some quick maths, they can probably calculate, you know, it's gonna be about 50, well, they see the countdown timer on the right. They know it's at least not gonna take 20 more minutes, but for many of these players, it's going to be, you know, about 10 more minutes of driving. Maybe for Taurus, it'll be, you know, 7, maybe 6, depending on the pace. But let's see. Back in the field again, let's take a look at CD. CD is still driving along with Tigerbot here. About a 33-second difference here, so no real battle going on, but these players are still persisting, which you love to see, you know, despite the length of the track and maybe feeling like their position is set in stone. They're still going on and driving, so that's good to see. Tigerbot going into this ice section, looking a little shaky. All right, getting the exit very nicely. Working with what he had. Oh, getting a nose slide. But other than that, decent second part to that ice section. Let's take a look at Nats again. Nats versus, well, Mania Ben is now taking over the position of Nats. So Nako and Mania Ben, I mean, this is probably our closest battle, maybe besides Javzo and SRK. Both getting a little bit of a lift off. Nako slowing down a slight bit. Mania Ben taking a nice drift there, overtaking Nako. Let's take a look. Nako slowed down a little bit in that section. Having a little bit of connection issues, but hopefully nothing so bad that the server is gonna kick him out of here. Iniaban touching, it looks like, so this is still neck and neck. So these two players are not knowing exactly where they're going to be. They're in that fight for 7th and 8th place. So now we have had so many disconnections that I think, let's go back. Pinda is still here driving. Mad respect for the guy. Though he is 8 minutes down, he is still just going for a nice little ride here, relaxing, probably stretching his hands. Maybe going for the fastest lap, potentially? Well, he has a 2:14 as his fastest lap, so maybe not. But yeah, this is looking good. Like, he's only at 8 minutes down, so he definitely has enough time to finish at the end of the race. Supposing he keeps up this pace. Yeah, but it's a great shame that, you know, players like Dog and Rozzy and Snowman had disconnects, because they were making some pretty good battles. There would have been some nice fights up in the front. Taurus right now 12 seconds ahead of Mime, looking pretty secure for that first place position. He only probably has about 1 or 2 laps left, so it is going to be pretty much set in stone as a victory for Taurus on this first edition of the endurance race. Let's go down and take a look at SRK and Javzo. Javzo being 8 seconds down. That is not going to be good for him. With this little time left, that's looking like a GG for SRK, taking that 3rd position. Going down once more, let's look at Dizrod. He is 17 seconds behind Javzo, so that is also looking set in stone for a 5th for Dizrod. Fegley, an American driver, doing a decent pace here. Let's take a look at some of these local records again. Taurus doing a 2:05.90, a time I never would have thought of someone doing. That is very fast. Very, very fast. Definitely showing his skill here, being a whole 0.64 ahead of 2nd place in the records. But Mime as well, having a great time of a 2:06.54. And Marius and Javzo as well. Very good times. So definitely see these players have the pace and really showing a mastery of this map. So let's go back to Dizrod. Actually, we see CD right there. CD driving this entire time, also from the United States, doing a very good job. Once again, getting a no slide. You know, Caster's curse is always true. And every time you spectate someone, they'll either disconnect or make some mistake, or something catastrophic will happen. Just to really outline the worst in these players' performances. Okay, he's finally going for the full respawn there. Gets it well, so that's a recovery from him. Tigerbot actually overtaking in the time that it took him to respawn, so for the last place besides Pinda, we have a very good battle going on here. That's really impressive to see. Let's go up and look at Mime versus Taurus. Mime making a mistake right as I spectate him. Oh, your game crashed? Man, that has happened too many times today, Nats. I mean, there's maybe, you know, I'll talk with the Evo guys and see if there's anything that they think we can do about that. But yeah, game crashes is like endurance format is just really not liked by this game or its servers or anything. So always unfortunate when that happens. Got Fegley here in 6th place. Look at Mime. Let's look at Taurus actually, and I want to see if this is the last lap or not. Let's see if he will come through, and he's on minus 0.01 on his PV, so maybe he can come through and pull in another. Oh, he makes a mistake. No, he makes another mistake. Okay, it's not going to be a PV. Very unfortunate for Taurus here. maybe thinking he knows it's the very end. A big freeze on the game crashed there. It's possible that it's something that the server is doing. The server could be trying to send you packets and like it's getting denied or something. As far as I know, the guys at Evo were complaining that like every time an update comes out, it ruins their servers, and that happened recently. So now, Taurus is finished in first place with a 45.03. Let's take a look at Mime. Mime is going to be 16 seconds down. So that is our first winner of the endurance race, being Taurus on this test edition. Mime coming in second. Javzo a little bit further behind, making another mistake. This isn't good for him. Where's SRK? SRK with more speed is going to come up to Javzo, and this is going to be quite a close fight. Actually, only about a 1 second difference. SRK can make this up if he takes the risk. He's not going for those inside lines, but Javzo is, and we see that SRK going for the slides, going for a drift, an outside line. He's going to come into this with about 2.5 seconds down. I don't know if he can make this up unless Javzo makes a mistake, but Javzo, being a competitive player, probably knows that he can just safe it through this tech section since he is a decent tech driver. We'll see here. Javzo going into the last turn, and it's looking like Javzo is going to come in third place, and SRK coming in fourth. Dizrod going into this jump. Is there anyone trailing him? How close is Fegli? Fegli quite far behind, so Dizrod is going to be your fifth place player. After 46.5 minutes, he is very tired at this point, I'm sure, as is everyone. So there we go. GG. Race is done for Dizrod. Fegli coming through. Do we have a close race? Nako versus Mania Ben. Still kind of close, but not really. We have 11 players here who are very close. Fegli coming through. And Dizrod took that fifth place. Fegli is going to be taking sixth. Mania Ben coming in and doing this section nice and relaxed. Nako pushing it very clearly, going for as much risk as possible, probably thinking he has 6 seconds down, but if he risks and Mania Ben makes a mistake, he could come over and take the 7th place. So it looks like the server was freezing quite often. Nako with a little bit of lag, but he's going to come in. So Mania Ben in 7th place. Nako, 8th place. CD now. Well, a little bit of lag. Tigerbot, also a little bit of lag. Pinda, I mean, he's just chilling. Pinda's just relaxing here. So, who is still driving? Tigerbot, maybe lagging out of the server. He is still in that position. CD definitely lagged out, or just left. Tigerbot is lagging out, so I think that is probably it. Very unfortunate for everyone who got lagged out. We're gonna have to take a look at that for sure to maybe limit the plugins that are active on the server. Oh man. I mean, he's just vibing to the music. Anyway. That was it. That was the first, or I guess I'll say the test edition, since it went so, your game just crashed. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's, I've been getting game crashes extremely frequently in this game lately too, so, it's, like every time I exit a server, or you know, load a map, there's like a 1 in 3 chance that it'll crash. It's something's up with the game lately. But hopefully we can iron out as many issues as possible on our end before we go into the next edition, and maybe Nadeo will be able to take care of some stuff too. So anyway, there we are. That was the test edition of Nixotica's Endurance Race. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and playing. And hopefully next time around we will be able to Yaski, we just finished up here. Just finished up the first edition. There was no lap counter. For some reason, for whatever reason, it just didn't exist. But yeah, no problem missing it, Ski. There will be another